Welcome back to the 27. Up until this very moment, right now, I have done you all a massive disservice. I have neglected you. I have neglected my beloved AMS2 community for far too long. You may be saying, but why, Steele? And more importantly, how? Well, I have not once offered any advice with regards to time trial. Shame on me. Public shame. The footage you're watching was donated by Nemesis 69. No introductions needed. Please visit his YouTube channel. The link is in the description. If you want to see what it's like to bang out world record times, that is the place. Let's talk about time trial, gentlemen. Time trial. The top gun of sim racing esports. The second most frequent question sim racers have is, which setup is the fastest? And 99.99% of the time, the answer will be go to the leaderboards and download the top setup. This is factually correct. It cannot be denied. By the way, the number one question is which car is the fastest, but who cares? Hit the sort by vehicle button and you can drive any car and be the fastest. But you've watched this channel and have probably done work with balancing grip levels, managing tire heat, adjusting camber, toe, suspension, and differentials. Are these builds good for time trial? The answer is kind of. This is going to sound altogether too obvious, but time trial builds are for one lap pace, and one lap pace means you don't have to care about the state of the car after you cross the finish line. It could be on its rims, with sparks flying, sideways, upside down, on fire. It doesn't matter. It's inconsequential. This video is about adjusting your perfectly tuned race setup specifically for time trial. And if you're the type of driver who likes to load defaults and go, some of these tips will pertain to you too. So here it is, the top 10 tips and myths for time trial setups. This isn't really a list of ascending importance, treat it more like a workflow, but people like lists, so let's start with number 10. Fuel, it's set for 5 liters automatically. We don't need to change it. It doesn't matter. Easy. Next. Number 9. Radiator. Close it. 100% if you can, but keep track of any horsepower loss using the telemetry HUD. During the lap, the car will be heating up, but you will have leeway. So long as the car is not overheated and losing horsepower at the line, you're good. If you're on a track where a second lap is required, you may need to think about opening it more. Number 8. Aero. Don't take off too much, but take some off. A click or two on the front and rear, equally if you can. The tire grip will be doing a lot of the work here. If you find you are washing out or tires are overheating, add some aero back. Number 7. Fast dampers. Soften them. The reason being is you're going to be flying over curbs at the very maximum of track limits, and you'd be surprised what you can get away with. If you have a pinky toe stretched out, you're in bounds, so that means you're going to be clipping curbs a lot. Number 6, tires. Racing is all about the tires. I've said it, you've heard pros say it probably. Harry from Days of Thunder said it. That's good enough for Cole Trickle, it's good enough for you. At time trial, you need to use soft tires regardless of the track temperature. You need to find the grip break point. For GT3s, it's around 105C. For other cars, it could be different. But all's the same. If you're in the third sector and your tires are at 105C, you're going to lose a ton of grip. You need to make setup changes to reduce the burden on that tire. This is especially important for time trials that require a second lap. Number 5, tire temp deltas. They will be a thing, but not really that big of a thing. We don't care about balanced tire wear here like in a race setup. Overheating rear tires will rotate the car better, and so will front tires that are as close to optimal as possible. The car needs to follow its nose, and you'll have to manage the rears with the throttle. Understeer is the killer in time trial. Number 4, ducts. I bet you've heard this before. Close the brake ducts. Well, this is wrong. Closed ducts overheat the brakes. They lose effectiveness and balance, so that your bias doesn't even matter anymore. You don't want the brakes to go over 900C for carbon and 600C for steel, ever. In fact, you might want to open them up more. The aero gains for a closed duct are marginal compared to grip in the tires. If your tires are overheating, One reason could be your brakes are a million degrees. Number 3, tire pressure. Increase it on all tires to the point where the car feels too understeery in the front or too oversteery in the rear. You want the maximum pressure in the tires you can comfortably control the car. Rolling resistance is huge in AMS2, trust me. Easily a car length or 2 at the end of a straight. Number 2, ghost car. Pick a ghost 1 second faster than you, beat it, then reload and pick another ghost that is 1 second faster than that. Rinse, repeat. But don't overdrive the car or outbrake yourself trying to close the gaps. Chances are if you're watching this, you're not Daniel Ricciardo. Use the ghost to learn where you're losing time and where you can gain time. As you go up the ladder, you'll learn more and more about what the car is capable of. And number 1, the most important thing we're going to do is prepare. Keep track of all of your temperatures, brakes, tires, and oil, especially for time trial that requires a second lap. For all of these things on this list, you're going to tweak and practice. Time trial is not just jumping in the car and dreaming of Ayrton Senna. We all have different skill sets, and we all can get faster. We're going to prepare for time trial like we prepare for a race, by keeping track of the car during various points of every lap. With all of these things in mind, with any luck, you'll be climbing the charts. Alright guys, this concludes all of my planned setup tutorial videos for the time being. Make sure to hit the subscribe button so you can quickly refer back to this or any of the other tutorials if you haven't watched them yet. In my race videos, I discuss various aspects of setups or AMS2 in general in a little bit more depth as well, even if it's not a car you're interested in, so they might be worth a watch. Oh, if you notice a difference in the audio, this was brought to you by some benevolent benefactors of the 27, so thanks go to Virgo and Trick. The footage you've been watching was donated by Nemesis 69. Make sure to visit his YouTube channel and subscribe. He's going to be live streaming soon, guys, so if you're interested in watching the fastest man in AMS2 and perhaps even joining his lobbies, click the link in the description. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Take care.